Ladies and gentlemen, it was once said that to achieve true success on the scoreboard of life, one must be completely fulfilled in their business life, family lifestyle and spiritual peace. I don't think anyone would argue that today this property certainly represents all of that. An exciting business opportunity, no doubt about it. A family lifestyle that one, well, could only dream of, and certainly a home that provides a thriving living environment that truly feeds your soul. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the landmark auction of Rakana Lodge. By way of introduction, Lindsay Warner here today representing Chris Weston, unfortunately couldn't be here, on behalf of the Rain and Horn Real Estate Group. My name is Phil Harris, I'll be your auctioneer today. In a few brief moments' time, I'll welcome your bidding. However, prior to doing so, there's of course some general housekeeping we do need to quickly take care of. First and foremost, I'll place you through the contract of sale and the terms and conditions. Upon completing those, welcome any last bit of questions you might have before we get straight underway with the exciting part, which is of course your bidding. Now, the property today, it will be sold under the terms and conditions that have been set out by the Society of Auctioneers and Appraisers and the Real Estate Institute of South Australia, and that alone should only encourage your bidding here this afternoon. The contract of sale and Form 1, inclusive of the R7 financial advice notice, well, they've been on display here for the last half an hour or so, as well as the last 3 clear business days at our offices. The legal description of the property is allotment 136 on file plan 5398 in the area named Jupiter Creek, 100 of Kaipo. Copy of certificate of title, register book volume 5297 folio 924. Please also make note that there is of course an easement on the property, clearly marked on the title as being A, which does belong to the Electricity Trust of South Australia. Passing with the property, quite a detailed list of inclusions here. All fixed floor coverings, light fittings, window treatments, the dishwasher, the Perkins diesel, Dunlake generator, the bore pumps, together with all fixed plant and equipment on the farm. So quite a detailed list there indeed. Excluded from the sale, all vendors' personal effects, non-standard telephones, loose furniture, outdoor furniture and potted plants. I'll also mention that all gourmet chickens equipment necessary to operate the broiler farm, well, they're all excluded from the sale here today as well. The terms and conditions we sell by, they're straightforward. They don't vary at all from auction to auction. Property is offered subject to a reserve price. As the purchaser, you'll be required to step forward, execute a contract, pay a deposit of 10% with the residue of the purchase price to be called upon at settlement, which has been put down for no longer than 120 days from today's date. The highest bidder shall be the purchaser, only where that bid is at or above the reserve price. Please note that we are selling the property with a fixed term lease to Gourmet Chickens until the 30th of June 2010, with a right of renewal for a further 2 years, with an annual gross income currently at $350,000 per annum. So an exciting business opportunity here today indeed. I'll also make mention that whilst our vendor is registered for GST, the property is being sold as a going concern farmland supply, therefore GST not applicable within the purchase here today. Need to make that very clear. As the auctioneer, I do reserve the right to make one or more vendor bids, up to but not including reserve price. These bids, if any, they'll clearly be declared as being vendor bids by myself, the auctioneer. Cooling off rights, they of course, they don't apply at a sale by public auction, and upon the fall of the hammer, property is at the risk of the purchaser, so please take out an immediate cover note of insurance on the property to cover your equitable interest. Any person bidding, you will be personally bound by your bids made during the auction. If the property is subsequently knocked down to you, and finally, as the auctioneer, I do reserve the right to refuse the bid if I believe it's not in the best interest of our owners. So very straightforward. Finally, I'll make it clear today you bid for 2 specific reasons. One is, of course, outright purchase on the property. The other, if we don't quite reach reserve price, the highest bidder will reserve first and exclusive rights at negotiation with our vendor. So please don't hold back with your bidding here today. So let's just take a brief moment to have a look at the outstanding infrastructure and facilities that our vendor has developed over the last 10 years, and then I'm going to welcome any questions you might have and get straight underway with the bidding. The property itself, the land holding, comprising 29.29 hectares or some 72.2 acres. Currently set up as 12 main paddocks, 3 smaller paddocks, all with practically new fencing, quality hay shed, storage shed and a good set of cattle yards with crush, raceway, loading ramp, sufficient to handle 50 head of cattle, providing further income opportunity for the new purchaser here this afternoon. As we know, water is now the new currency of life, and water on this property absolutely exceptional. The existing bore quoted at 9,000 gallons per hour. It's currently pumping at 3,000 gallons per hour, so huge scope to upgrade the bore there. It was last serviced in 2007. At that stage, new piping was also put in on the bore. There are 2 dams, and one of them is even big enough to cruise your jet ski across the top. How good is that? The other dam in front of the property supplies watering of the domestic gardens around the home. There's 2 concrete tanks totalling 56,000 gallons in storage capacity and 2 rainwater tanks, 1 fiberglass tank giving you a total of over 340 million litres of pure liquid gold to service the infrastructure and your property. There's also in excess of 10 acres of underground irrigation mains. Approximately 35 acres of irrigation has been applied for, subject to clarification from the Water Allocation Board. So need to make that clear also. Infrastructure also includes 3 modern broiler growing sheds with total floor space, 60,000 square feet, already set up, providing substantial yearly income. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is an exciting business enterprise. Quality water, amazing position, the total package indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, are there any questions before I ask you for your bids? Any questions at all, guys?
Yes, Mr. Harris. Now, my beautiful and somewhat precocious daughter has very, very valuable stock horses, and we need irrigated quality irrigated pasture for these horses. Now, you in your brochure state that the water quality is 1,000 parts per million. I've checked that out with the Department of Mines and Energy, and they tell me that the water quality is 1,950 parts per million. Now, maybe too salty for irrigation and stock water. Now, I put it to you that you and your company are both misleading and deceptive and are lying.
Appreciate the question, sir. In regards to the salt content of the water, sir, as per all of our marketing that has been dispersed over the last 3 or 4 weekends, we're certainly very confident what we've provided is correct. However, sir, if you are in fact correct, the water quality isn't as what you say, you'd certainly have to buy the property under those conditions here today. So you certainly